And we are live.
Yeah.
Welcome back to my channel. This is Become Successful with your host, Yemi Osho. And with me tonight to discuss this morning, whichever way where you're watching from, I have Boja Africa with me. We'll be discussing the bane of bad leadership in Africa. And I'm going to let him introduce himself briefly, and then I'll go ahead with some of the points that I have. And then we'll let other people comment. Um, we'll let people comment. And we can also, at some point, we're going to invite people to, make their if they really want to speak, we're going to give them the link so that they can also voice their opinion on this particular interesting topic. So Boja, you have the floor.
It's so impressive. I'm so happy to be in this show. And of course, I've been following your posts everywhere in the world. I've been seeing your motivational posts. And my name is Babatunde Oluwaseyi Just Joe Adeola. I'm a community influencer here in Nigeria, Alimosho, Lagos. And one of my cries is to say that our community gets more responsible um, in the act of leadership in their cycle of influence. So it's a great one being this show, Mr. Yemiosha.
Thank you, thank you so much. So I believe that this is a very interesting topic that a lot of people, there's been a lot of debate over bad leadership in Africa, but I think at this point in time, it's become even more expedient to talk about this because um, it's never getting better, and then we have to keep talking about it and see how we can create awareness for the youth to take responsibility for for now. And
Mm.
so briefly, if you look at the issue of bad leadership, this has resulted in a lot of problems. Like for instance, if you look at it now, recently there's a lot of coup going on in the West African nations. If you're
Mm.
aware, about 5 nations now have been seized by the military.
Yes, sir.
They've taken over the like Mali, Chad,
Chad.
Guinea, Sudan, Burkina Faso. There was a failed coup in Niger. But all these stems all from bad leadership. It
Exactly.
stems from bad leadership. You know, um, I can go on and on, but I'm just going to mention a few of them. If you look at it, you can actually, before I make mention of why and these things are happening. The bad leadership has led to what we call the poor economic growth.
Marshall.
You know, it has led to a landslide poverty.
Exactly.
It has led to underdevelopment and a lot of terrible things. Now, there was a comment recently by the FIFA president. I'm sure I sent you the link.
Yeah.
Where he said the World Cup should be I mean, it should be 2 years rather than 4 years because it's gonna reduce the African migration over the Mediterranean Sea or whatever.
Yeah.
As pathetic as that statement can be, it is the reality.
Exactly.
do you realize the amount of people that die, trying to make it across the sea? I
Hmm.
know the current UFC heavyweight. He also made a trip. He was one of the lucky ones. He made
Hmm.
into France, and I don't know if he made it over the sea, but anyways, he also had the same kind of travels, and today is great. But not many people will live to tell the tale. Not
Experience.
many people will live to tell the tale. Some of the things that and another thing also is that, do you realize that this kind of thing also affects even soccer, the football that we play, because
Play.
it's management.
Hmm.
Look at the if you go to the if you watch the leagues in the northern part of Africa, and I'm sure they also have their own
Hmm.
kind of challenges as well, but
Hmm.
it's more prevalent down south. If
Exactly.
we don't have the leagues, the third stadiums are terrible. There was a time the Nigerian government, they provided for we hosted a tournament, and the
Okay.
scoreboards were placed there, the new stadiums. Immediately after the tournament, the scoreboard was missing.
Hmm.
How can a scoreboard get missing? How
Hmm.
can the national stadium in Surulere is in a state of comatose.
Hmm.
you know
Hmm.
so all these things stems from bad leadership. And
Exactly.
you know I'm going to let you talk, but let me just say some of the causes that I have seen, uh, that probably is responsible for most of all these things. I think is we use this word a lot: corruption.
Hmm.
Corruption, putting people that are not supposed to be in place, putting them in place. Uh, you know, some kind of, instead of you looking at the competence of a person, we place it based on you know uh, the tribe. We place it based on so a lot of people arise. A lot of mediocre people arise as a result of all these kind of sentiments that we put in place, instead of looking at how we can better our country. It's such a terrible state. Another one is incompetence. I think it's part of what I've already said.
Yeah.
Some of that,
Of course.
medical incompetence.
Yeah.
We know that this person is um, clearly not
Competent.
competent to take this position, and then we give
Yes.
it to that person. You know, that is the big. It is not. This is not just in Nigeria. It's happening across Africa.
No
You know,
much.
South Africa used to be one of, it's still, we see, well, it's still doing well, but it's also, reading by corruption. You want to talk
No
about
much.
Cameroon, you want to talk about, Ghana. Recently, Ghana may seem like it's doing well. They also have a lot of corruption. And then
No much.
we are even saying, well, their own corruption is even lesser than our corruption. Corruption is corruption.
Corruption is corruption. That's the truth.
You want to say
That's the
something
truth.
before I go
Yes.
on?
Sincerely, the truth is this: we cannot shy from this. That one of the cause of bad leadership is the kind of cultural values the nation have. When a country does not have a foundation of a rich, enforced, projected, and well articulated cultural view, we will continually fall in the pit of this said corruption and this said the kind of bane we have in our bad leadership. Of course, it is unnecessarily annoying. It's sometimes, I mean, I mean, get me so irritated because you just feel that no, you should know that one plus one will give you two. Why would you say one plus one will give you 1,000? So, and I think when each of the African countries have actually spent a lot of time exporting other cultural value system, which has not paid the environment that they are. So, and they are not proud of their own cultural value system. And with that, it is we are going to be seeing such a rippling effect. And I also realize that we have what is called a massive inferiority complex and massive lustfulness about other people's things. Meanwhile, you have yours. Take, for example, I'm a parent. You are a parent. Your house is eating a kind of food, living a kind of life. And all I want to do, I too have my family and I have the way I run. My budget, your priority will not be my own priority. My value system may not be your value system. So if I now try to do all I can to run my family like you will run your family, there will there will be issues because there's a unique way my own family was set up. So if I try to pornograph or rather totally emulate, you eat maybe 4 times a day and you don't know the chunk of food you eat in those 4 times. I want to enforce that on my own family. I will always have issues. And I think because we have not been able to find our originality, our uniqueness, our unique cultural values have brought us in this, I mean, state that we are and the bane that we are right now. So, about our bad leadership, I realized that what can you do when the foundation is destroyed? Of course, we just have, so what we have in our system, the system itself, the structure of the system itself has issues. The issues has to be selfishness. Every unit of most African and the system it has runs out of selfishness. And because of it, we have those been. So first and foremost, if I have to talk about some of the pain we have in our bad leadership, first I'll put it on our cultural value system. Recently, I was shocked when Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, one of our former head of states, he said, if there's any transformation Nigeria needs, and he would wish we compel is our cultural value system because we don't have a value system. Secondly, if I have to deal and talk about some of the things affecting our leadership right now, I would say selfishness. When you are not thinking about the glory, the beauty, the perfect peace and order of your community, we will always fall in the trap of the beauty of my home, my house, my family, my children, because I don't know what can happen. We have this mindset of I have nothing to give back. See that my family, my people, my tribe, we don't have it nation because we believe we are not yet one. So there's still this mind of, let me be careful, anything can happen. Let me quickly amass mine and quickly run away. Selfishness. So there should be a pragmatic, a well enforced cultural value system, because it's what actually even went or has gone into our selfishness. The third part I would also want to talk about is irresponsibility, irresponsiveness. No, it's not my business. It's not my family.
Yeah, but if you look at it, some of our, would I say some of our culture? I don't know if I would say that, because look at the spate of the ritual killings, the some young youths try doing rituals, and parents don't question their children where they got the wealth from, so certain money they come home with, and it seems like corruption is celebrated rather than hard work. People, and as a result, you see a lot of these kids doing all these things, killing. I saw quite about maybe two or three in Ogun State. They
A
killed
lot,
the
a lot
girls,
is going
a
on.
lot of them. So you know this issue of not questioning, not holding people accountable. I mean, it's just over the board. It's gotten to a state now that I mean, we have to really talk about these things. And I mean, I don't know, because I think also one of the things is this. One of the things I highlighted is the institutions that are supposed to hold people accountable cannot, because if you go to the court of law, if you have money, you are able to subdue justice. They pay the judge, they adjourn the case for as long as they want, and then when you get tired, then you lose hope. There is no hope coming from those institutions. The institutions have been weakened by corruption. The judges
That's
take
true.
bribe, the policemen take bribe, and then as a result of that, they throw your case, they throw it out. So that is why these guys can go on the streets, because they know they can always get away with it. How many of those cases have we seen? I know that there will be some that probably got sentenced, but usually you see that they are not the well-to-do people. Maybe they couldn't pay the right amount. A vast majority that are able to pay the vast majority will get away with it. That is, those are one of the things, also, and this, because of these atrocities that are going on, it has driven away investments. Now, who will want to put his money or our money in a place that there's uncertainty?
Of course,
Who wants
it
to
has
put their
weakened
money in a
the
place
economy.
that's not peaceful? Because now, when the corruption is there, look at the killings by and kidnapping by headsmen, whoever may not be. Is not. I mean, it's vast majority. Some are not even the headsmen. Some are just brothers conniving with other people to kidnap the other person just to make money. You know, how
No,
many of these? Yeah, huh?
the truth is, you just hit a point. You talked about accountability, and which that most institution that should be taking, accountability of such things, are not doing it. I would say this very strongly before I really talk about the anti-cultural being also that we have right now in a country. You see, the truth is this, which will lead me to one of my points I want to share, which has to do with um, I will call it immediate gratification.
Mm, that's true.
Now, when all you are seeking is immediate gratification, which unfortunately is promoted by most of the institution that needs to be working around it. The politicians does go into politics, invest into it for fast and immediate gratification. I can now make this road and make billions out of it.
Mm,
But when we look at it again, there's some institution promoting such mindset. Permit me to say some of our religious institutions are one of our great problems.
mm,
All of our clergies, the same thing the ritualists are doing is the same thing the Christian, most of the clergy, I mean, let me just say, not all, most of the clergies, whether traditional, whether Muslim or Christian, they are all promoting the same immediate gratification. That's what is causing ritual cases. In the church, they will tell you that your Jesus will give you by tomorrow, you will have a miracle of money. You will do small work for big money. Now, that when they now see that that is not working, they now begin to say, ìbùkún ni fọ́mọ ọ̀dọ̀ náà tó fi ọgbọ́n ṣe. They will now go into tradition and find a way to do it.
mm,
Some of them now go into fraud because of what? Immediate gratification. I'm not saying that it's not everywhere in the world, but it is highly projected and promoted via all the institutions, including media. Most of our songs in Nigeria promote ritual killings. Songs that most of our youth listens to, pastors that most of our youth listens to, Nollywood that most of our youth watch most. So that will lead me to anti-culture, because that is not the essence of the culture. The culture is not for promoting ritual cases. The essence of the church, of the institution, or of the mosque is not to promote immediate gratification, but to promote the righteousness in a country, how to live well. I'm not sure there are few institutions that teach you or bring a facilitator in how to live well, law and promote law and order in the community. No, the only thing you see is how to quickly get rich. There are now money seminars much more in those institutions than law abiding ones that promotes law and order, peace and harmony, beauty. How can we bring beauty in our community? So the spirit of immediate gratification. Let me quickly make it more than my neighbor. Let me have a miracle visa. Let me work small work and plenty money. Those things have a very deep and salient message pass into the subconscious, and by it we gain this kind of viral effect where if you bane it on poverty, it is not, because we know the reward of hard work. So even right to your poverty, if you are hardworking, selfless, you are not proud, because most poor people too can be so proud. Give them a little service to do, they won't do it well.
That's true.
So it's important we understand that it's not about poverty. I was listening yesterday in the radio while I was commuting through a public transportation, and over the radio they were talking about, I mean, the ritual killing, what is causing it, and that, and some are saying bad leadership. I had to tell them that the essence of bad leadership is actually the what I will call average. If you solve the average of all the citizens in a community, they give you an output of your leader.
Mm.
Because
So the leaders they are also product of the community.
yes, they didn't come from somewhere. They didn't bring them from Japan. Neither did they bring them from US. They grew from our community. They imbibe all the cultural value system. They understand the language. They understand all we do. So, and they are there and they are still doing what you are saying. It is not just that they have bad leadership. They are bad leaders and bad citizens who have grown up to take that position. Leadership is not just being a politician. Leadership starts as the head of the home. If the head of a home is paying for special center, how will he not pay to get a federal government job? Our educational system is wobbled. All parents are one of those bad leaders. In their position as the head of the family, they are doing special center. Why would they not pay for their daughters to get federal appointments or do ritual cases? So that I still put it down to serious value system, which the National Orientation Agency must promote with every strength that they have, not to sit down there and be looking.
Yeah, you're already going into the solution now. So yeah, that is one. That is the solution, right? I want to believe because I think even as much as we have highlighted a lot of challenges, we have to also look at what are the main solutions, and one of it is what you have just mentioned. That national orientation. Yes, I strongly believe that there has to be a national orientation. And what are the kind of messages that we promote through our media? What are the because uh, people look up to those information. It gets into your subconscious. They said
Yes,
there are some songs that even though they are terrible, but by the time you listen to it for so long, it becomes almost part of you, and you
I'm
eventually
telling
like
you.
it.
I'm telling you.
So
I'm
I
telling
strongly
you.
believe that we should have a kind of national orientation, and I also think that the civil societies, like one of such which you have now responsibility now. Government has weakened a lot of them. That is such a way that freedom of speech. You can get into trouble. You can be picked up, and those are the kind of things that discourages people. I believe government should empower and let because one of the things is that if the civil societies are strong, and that the public office holders or people know that they are going to be held accountable, people, not just people holding political offices. I'm talking about general, maybe in an office, and you know that whatever you do, you are going to be held accountable for it. I believe that people will sit up. You know? I strongly believe that. So
Of course,
you have any other thing solution
yes.
that you
You
think
see,
will?
one of the great solution for this is we need to go back to the battlefront. Now, one of the greatest and the most powerful battle that is causing most of this is what I call art and media. Arts and media. You see, thus far, our country has gone to is as a result of media. Media has brought us thus far, whether music, whether Nollywood, whether billboards, whether Instagram, whether Facebook. These are the tools that has wore into our subconscious and majorly our youths and has stolen them into corruption. So to this regard, instead of using media to promote your self-aggrandizement as politicians who are able to go down and do the work, one of our hashtags is Kabere Kashishe, is that look at the sensitization for COVID-19. Almost everywhere, I see my governors and billboard and adverts everywhere talking about COVID-19 in order to sensitize everybody to wearing nose mask. I believe very strongly in order to promote a citizen, we need to invest so much on media to build this cultural value system because the problem we have actually is the value system. So when this value system is well enhanced and promoted in all the 360-degree channels of media, music, movies, billboards, Facebook ads, and are rewarded, and people are rewarded for promoting such, I think we'll do a great job. But to keep on, the next election is coming. They're going to spend maybe close to 65 to 100 billion for presidential adverts. If half of it is spent on national orientation to promote, a film will not cost you more than 100 million. How many 100 million are you going to find in 1 billion? I mean, solid film like what's it called? This boys, what is it? This popular film that we just this Netflix.
King of
Think
boys.
of boys with 100 million or 200 in coach. We do such a film. Get script writers who will do award-winning films that will change that. Sponsor artists because that's where they go to. That's where our youth go to. Most of them don't know any job. They don't know their left from right. So it is a job of the nation and the chairman, the GM, the general manager of National Orientation Agency, although he's going to be promoted by the ideology of either his governor or the president. So the president should know, should detach. The problem is that most of them are caught up in some of this attitude and these
Yeah,
acts.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
because they do not love nationhood, they do not love their country, they are not bold enough to own up and say, no, I've been part of the victim of this society, but things cannot go this way anymore.
Mm.
Let us do this, let us do this, let us do this. So the next election should be looking at giving us a strong cultural value system, not infrastructure. Yes, we need infrastructure, but not yet. Ọmọ tí a bá kọ́ ló máa gbé létí akọ́tà. Every day there's good infrastructure system in Nigeria, but we keep spoiling it. Very beautiful traffic light, it will be destroyed all the time. Good buses after 1 year is bad. So why are we investing with wrong cultural value system?
Thing I also am looking at is because this is a leadership issue.
Yes, sir.
I think we should also have like a proper leadership training school. I don't know if that is possible, but where all these guys, I strongly believe that some people even had very good qualification from one strong leadership school to enhance their chances of gaining position. But when they get over there, they still lose guard. But I strongly believe that, just like you said, the culture and, having a strong leadership culture, and training. I don't know if we have some of that around, but
Uh, we,
I believe, yeah.
I think we have some of them, or only that most of them are not practicable. Most of the things that they teach them, they can't
Mm.
suffer the test of the system that we have. You know, a wayward, a bad driver who does not obey traffic in Nigeria, if he leaves this country and go to places like UK or America, he will conform.
Yeah, because
Why?
the system won't let you.
The system will not let you.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, most of our leaders went to Harvard, for crying out loud.
Mm.
Most of them studied abroad. But it has not changed anything. So it's not even the leadership, so to say, because we have highly intelligent Nigerians. I mean, highly,
So what
unbelievable.
could now be the solution? Because now what we're looking at is how this because usually, even though Nigeria may be the point of discussion, but this is what is going across board in Africa.
Yes.
This is not just a
Oh,
Nigerian problem,
no.
an
I
African
know
problem.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
speaking.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you're talking from point, but what do you think now? I think you mentioned about national orientation, which is one of the points. How can we? What other point? What other thing can we? Because now we have talked about them. Because one of the things I felt was having a strong leadership training. But these guys
No.
are well
You are
trained.
right with that. No. The
I'm
truth is
right,
that we
right?
can't take that. Of course,
Okay.
we are. That is strong. I'm just talking specifically in Nigerian issue, and I'm
Okay.
also not saying that. I'm trying to say that we should have a more pragmatic solution
Okay.
to this viral and virus that is in this system, because we can't think it is not. The leadership institution is very core. We have Lagos Business School here. We
Yeah,
have
that's
DSTA.
true.
We have DSTA leadership training institution who are training. We have couple of leadership institutions. But the truth is that for this leadership institution to thrive, there must be a foundation at which they have. So one of the things I will want is that our leaders who are put in the helm of affairs should own up, should own up
Mm.
and tell us. I mean, some of their issues, some of their fault. I see some of them cry. I mean, very, very. I mean, hiddenly. Some of them talk to us and say, "Oh, somehow in the House of Rep, in the House of Senate, they feel that they are powerless there, but they just have to follow the trends
Of what is going on.
of what is going on." So the leadership schools, the leadership institution are very key, are very important.
One of the
And the
things that I
mindset should be
also
about
go ahead,
national change. It should be about nation
Judith.
national transformation. Actually,
One of the points that I also highlighted there is emergence of role models. I think
mm.
a lot of it is that we lack there is really few there if there is any there's few role models that have shown integrity and have exemplified high level of strong leadership. I think we need more role models, that people can really look up to.
No, they
Because
are.
when
The truth
mm,
is that they are, but
mm,
they have been shut down. Some of them are tired of the system and they have walked out. Some of them are annoyed about the system and we have role models. Unfortunately, they are not well projected because that is not our value system anymore.
the value
They are not,
system.
yes, they are not projected. We project most of these, fraudsters,
Mm,
the ones who want to give, who are doing well, where most of them are annoyed, they resign out of the system and they just felt like, what the heck,
mm.
and left it for them. They push, fought. It was them alone. They stood, and the society is letting us to know that these people are not people to model after. The society projects the wrong models and tell the ones who have the right models that they are not doing enough. So we have role models, but most of them do not even have strength to project themselves out of them. Most of them have gone silent, gone pious, and kept short forever. I think the role model should stand up. They should stand up. They should
Yes,
stand up
and
and own up.
one of the thing also is that one of the because of what you are doing at the moment, I think is geared towards this, bringing solution to this kind of problems. I'm going to give you some, few minutes to just talk about your role in uh, take responsibility now and the love in
Okay,
Alimosho,
okay.
because I strongly believe that the grassroots is very important because now the leaders they are product of the environment, so they come from a locality and they rise to probably the highest echelon. Now, if we have responsible youths, even from the grassroots, is there is that will eventually lead us to good leadership, because I believe that people don't just come out from nowhere, just like you said. They are product of the environment. They grow up, they understand the language of the community, and they speak it, and they get to the aim of affairs, and they grow through. I've seen many of these top leaders that have grown from taking one position to the next position, probably not doing so much, but they played the game. They played the game, and
Mm.
they always retain power. So I'll give you 3 minutes to just talk about your role and what um, your group is doing.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Yemi Osho. Sincerely, I see this as an honor and a privilege. 2020, exactly 1st of October 2020, we stood our ground after the whole viral effect of revolution now. We sat back, we felt no. And that is almost an atom of immediate gratification. We want power, we want to seize power almost immediately, we want to get into leadership role immediately without growing your level of responsibility from little places, and you feel the leadership are bad and I want to get there and I can solve it. Unfortunately, we've seen that most of the output of most leadership that comes out of revolution do not survive time. And it has most of them has been categorized one of the worst leadership that comes out of revolution. So with that said, 1st of October, that instead of doing revolution now, because that's where it started from, instead of doing revolution now, why not take responsibility now? So, unfortunately, that revolution now was to be a protest against bad leadership in Nigeria. So we decided, okay, we're going to take responsibility instead, because we realized that it's not just, the people at the helm of affair. So because I will not just call leaders only the people in the helm of affair, it's just an opportunity to serve humanity in a larger scale. That is why they are placed there. So most of them have missed it from the small stage, and it has grown so large and large and larger. So we started saying that we are going to take responsibility for that moment, and that moment started 2020. We wanted to project it, not until now that we see that, okay, let us start it through the small channel that we have. We realize that we have 4 ways or 5 ways to solve our community problem. One of it is, I call our entertainment, our business, our events, our talents, our children. So we have a project called Street to Stardom, whereby we equip the children with rich cultural value system, as we also advance their skills in technology, arts, and music. So also we have project called Business Upgrade, where we work on businesses in the community and become their strong accountability partner in growing their business, because we realize that some of them cannot pay for good management of their businesses. So we raise volunteers that we look into those businesses and help them to grow and serve as their accountability partner. So we also realize that there are issues with our talents. Our talents are exhibiting and showcasing their a wrong influenced entertainment. So we set up what is called cowrie wealth to promote those two businesses, grow them specifically well, make them much more powerful, have them reach the goal that they need to reach to by effective and pragmatic talent management skill. So we started managing their talent and projecting them on our app that is still on process, which is Cowrie Wealth. So we are now using the tool of responsibility now to raise the community, the awareness of taking responsibility for this. Yes, right now we might not be able to receive the immediate gratification and reward for such, but as volunteers, we do it, as we also push this kind of initiative into the eye of the government, as they also look at it and change and bring the kind of change that we want in our community. So it's important and strong that we take responsibility now and not later, because the state that we are is a state of emergency. The state we are is a state of emergency. Parents are blaming poverty. That is why they are pushing their children into getting money anyhow. Children are blaming parents. Some of the ladies, the parents are telling them that go and marry, go and marry, go and marry, because they were irresponsible in their time to get what will even help those children, and they fall into prostitution. They fall into devil's snares of men, irresponsible men. So take responsibility now is now a movement which we are going to be setting up in each state. From there, we move into different countries of Africa as we raise responsible people. And we're looking at a project of 5 years as we reach that. So by that, we also have an institution in it called HFSA, Heart First Services Center, where we'll be training leaders in their different role in business, and that we will not be seeking immediate gratification, but the gratification of the nation. And that's why I wrote in my book. I did a podcast the last time, because we have a wrong interpretation to seeking the kingdom first. We thought it's about getting rapture and going to heaven. But sincerely, even Jesus came and said that thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So to seek the kingdom is to seek the perfect law and order, harmony, beauty of what is in your imagination and bring it down into your nation. That is seeking first the kingdom. So if each and every one of us is seeking the goodness of our nation, the beauty, the harmony of our nation, we will actually and pragmatically bring the goodness, and every one of us will be happy. And sincerely, I don't see Nigeria, I don't see Africa as the slave of the European, but African are the hope of the world, which responsibility now will channel to that point. Thank you for, this rich time for expressing this.
Thank you so much. I don't know if Anulua, I'm not sure if she wants to. Do you want to? Does she have something to talk about? I can bring her on.
Okay. Okay. I
Do you
saw.
want to? Do you want to join the conversation?
Mm,
Let
mm,
me post it and see if she.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
posting.
Okay. So because sincerely speaking, the 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 the
I
virus
know
is
if you
so
want. Hold on, Boja. I know if you
okay.
want to join the link, just click on that link I just posted in the chat, and you can make one or two conversations. All right, go ahead, Boja.
Okay, the sincere truth is that if we really want to bring the kind of change we need in our community, everybody needs to take responsibility. Everyone.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
We should not leave it, because every one of us are become a victim of such. We are all a victim of such. So we have bad leadership in different realms, different levels of leadership, church, institution, mosque, traditionally,
Mm-hmm.
family, marriages, schools, higher institutions, federal parastatals. Now, somebody was telling me what is happening in Rivers, that most teachers don't go to school again. Most teachers don't go to schools. They feel that the government is not paying them enough, and they are still in that position for 18 years, collecting that salary for 18 years without impacting the children.
Mm.
Can you imagine? Can you
Mm.
imagine? That is
And
so less.
why would they be collecting salary and not go to work? Why?
Yes, because they feel that the money is not enough. Let me go and do something else as
Mm.
I still collect the money. Why? There's no
That
heart to serve humanity.
that is actually what the major, that's one of those things we're talking about. Lack of responsibility, not taking
Lack of
responsibility.
responsibility. Don't want to be responsible for the future. Imagine how many lives of those children that's at stake, and we'll be complaining of bad education in Nigeria. Most public schools are not working effectively. Why? Because most teachers are not even upgrading themselves. They are not even coming because they know it's a federal government job. Nobody will sack me.
Mm.
Nobody will sack me. And that's why they buy their position to enter. They know that it's money forever, and they now become ghost workers. They enter and they become ghost workers forever.
Mm. Just Joe, you have said a lot. I think we have to have another. We are going to have several other chat
I
like
think
this.
it's
We'll
very
come up with
important.
another. We have to
No,
come
no,
up
no,
with
no.
another topic, and we have to discuss about it. But
No
as a,
problem.
in as a closing remark, I would like you to give a closing remark before you say that. Because being of bad leadership that's affected the economy. You see this transatlantic slave trade. There's still a lot of people trapped in Libya due to slave trade. Many people in the Oman, suffering. Many dying in the Mediterranean. As we are talking right now, many are still
Mm.
there. So, in closing remark, I'll just give you. I need to. I'll be with you, but you can make
Okay,
your statements while I'm away. Okay.
okay, okay.
All right. Continue.
Okay. So, sincerely speaking, I must say this very strongly. Africans, we cannot keep watching. It is going to be a selfish adventure. I will just sit down and point the finger of blame on one person or the other. Whereas the blame is hovering over you because you think you are playing small. None of us is playing small. The father in a home is not playing small. You are playing big in the economy. So you can't sit down and just watch and feel that everything is well. So Africans, we need to stand up. Nobody will solve that problem for us. The Europeans will not. They have their own problems to solve. China will not solve our problems. No Messiah will solve our problems. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹjọ́ ò débì kan. We have talk enough. We have complained, murmur, and grumble enough. We have prayed, and prayed enough. It is time for each and every one of us to take responsibility for where we are going. Our children should stop looking for immediate gratification and be much more sensual, but fighting to bring the kind of change that we want in our community. I will be shocked at the reward of taking this responsibility because the reward is massive, extremely massive. I will stand. I've been seeing a lot of things going on from the mosque to the church to our government, and I realize that one of our greatest issue in our community is that we are too lustful. We are lustful. We keep on importing everything. We imported religion. We import rice. We import everything. Meanwhile, we have everything present with us. If those people in other country has not grown their own, grown their media, grown their culture, grown their food, grown their petrol, are we going to be getting from them? Who ye African of little faith? Let's wake up. He that wants to take responsibility in business, take it. In children, take it. In education, take it. Don't live for the reward. Let them castigate you. Myself, I've been castigated. I've been fought. I've been relegated in the community. I've been shut down. I've been cheated. But it's important that I know that that is not what I'm looking for. There's a price to be paid, and we must get it. We have all it takes. All it we need is little perseverance, just little perseverance. So let me encourage you guys and everyone who is fighting zealously for the glory, honor, and the beauty of our nations in Africa. Let us not look at what we want to achieve or get right now, but let us fight the good fight of faith and bring the kind of change that we have need in our community. By that, we're able to experience unimaginable growth. I stand to say African is not under the spell of mind slavery. African is not under the spell of mind slavery of the West or the Europeans. We are not. Rather, we are the hope of the nations. All the world is waiting for Africans. And that is where I stand. That is what will bring the kind of change that we want in our community. So let's stand responsible. Yes, we will need to persevere a little because of the state, the worsening state we are. If you are sick, you need a time to recover. So the whole African nations are sick. So we need time. That time is called the time of perseverance time. So don't look at that. The impute of your responsibility for your nation is not seen, it's not projected, it's not promoted, but just little drop of responsibility will bring a mighty righteousness in Africa, and that is what matters.
Thank you so much, Jojo Boja,
Yes.
as I'll put it. Thank you so much. You've said a lot,
Thank you so
and
much.
I believe that I'm sure some will see this as a playback. You can post your questions, and it's going to be addressed to Boja, and we can come back and address it. And if there's any topical issue that you feel that we need to address, you can post it in the comment section. And
Okay.
if you are seeing this as a playback, give us a thumbs up, share with family and friends, and then by the time we come back, we'll be coming back with very topical issue that will be that is gonna is this is geared towards our own education. You know, this is geared towards us being sensitized and taking responsibility. And I'm glad to have our guest, my co-host for tonight. And then, so if you're watching this as playback, please post your questions, your comments. What do you feel? Is there something that we said during the course of this discussion that you feel that we need to talk about, or your own opinion, your personal opinion? Post it in the comment section, and then we'll reply you back. Thank you once again, my audience, and then we'll promise to come back with more interesting topics, and I will catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Thank you. Peace. Thank you.